Process. Process my radio. Well, I've got some radio friends, but I was thinking radio this morning. That's my old life, my new life, my voiceover friends. How are you guys doing? Welcome to Motivational Monday and the Daily Voiceover Huddle. I'm Bill DeWeese, your host, professional voiceover talent, voiceover coach, voiceover demo producer. And we're going all the way to 100K. That's my mantra right now here in 2024. And we're quickly approaching 77,000 subscribers. Want to get this thing to 100,000. Want to spread the word. So make sure to subscribe. The videos you like, give them a thumbs up. And of course, share with all of your voiceover friends or anybody that you know that might be interested in voiceover. I greatly appreciate it. Well, there's a time for excitement, and then there's a time for cold, hard reality. And I'm going to let you guess what today's all about. Now, it's Motivational Monday, but it's not going to be a rah-rah. I mean, there's time for a rah-rah. That's what events are for. That's what get-togethers and gatherings are for. And that's a good thing. But sometimes you got to get your hands dirty, get down into the reality of stuff. I come down off the mountaintop and get into the work of doing the work of making the thing happen that you want to happen, which I'm going to presume by the fact that you're here is to make money in voiceover. And that's what I'm here to do as a voiceover coach. Somebody asked me a question in my voiceover blueprint program, my students in that program. And if you're interested in finding out about my training program, links below in the description. But we were together talking on Wednesday, and I get real. I get very real. I share quite a bit from my personal life because that's where I draw. We all draw from where we come from. And I'm a really big believer from observation and from experience that we learn far more in our failure than we do in our success. So I try to be as open and transparent as I can about mistakes that I've made along the way. And somebody was asking me this past week during one of those get-togethers what I felt was one of my biggest mistakes along the way. And I don't mean just in voiceover, I just mean in life in general, but this applies to everything. Let me back up a little bit. My goal since I was like 13 or 14 was to get into radio, and I wanted to be a program director. I wanted to direct a radio station. I wanted to grow its audience. I knew that from an early age, and I did. By the time I was 21, either by the time I was 21 or maybe 22, I was program director, not just on air, but program director, where I was hiring and developing talent at a large radio station in a large market in Columbus, Ohio. And I was very successful at that. And I loved it. But there's a lot I hadn't learned about life at that point. I was very, very goal driven. So I knew what I wanted, and I was obsessed with it. That's what I thought about 24/7. Problem with that is having a goal is good. Need a goal, need a destination. If I was going to set out on a trip from Chicago today, I would want to know where I was heading to. And let's say it was Los Angeles. That's my goal. So I need to have that in mind. But how you get to Los Angeles is by not just focusing on Los Angeles and saying, I'm driving. Where are you going to Los Angeles? How do you get there? I don't know, but I'm going to Los Angeles. You've got to focus on the daily process of getting there. And I think going back to what I was saying is that I think one of my biggest mistakes was I didn't focus on the process, on the journey. I was obsessed with the destination. And even though I was able to, I made great strides by doing that, but along the way, I wasn't nearly as effective as I could have been. I'm sure it made me less of a boss than I could have been, and a mentor and a coach. It made me less of a husband and a father than I could have been because I was never in the moment. I was always someplace else. I was always years down the road thinking where I was trying to get. And it was an obsession, really. And it was a distraction from the things that would have helped me be a better human being, as well as a better radio person at the time. So today I want to talk about the importance of process. So goal is your destination, but the process is the map. And what got me thinking about this is there's a great series. They just started, I think it was the 3rd season on Netflix, called Full Swing. It's where they follow the PGA Tour and a handful of players throughout each season. And I love golf, and I love the show. But one of the things that really stuck out to me is I binge watched this latest season that just came out, and it was high performance players that were struggling to play at the top of their potential. And almost invariably, they would go to see a high-performance coach, a psychologist or psychiatrist, somebody that would help them with this because wh- wherever you want to get, it's more about this than it is about anything else. Same in voiceover. It's as much or more about what's going on between your ears as it is what's coming out of your mouth. Because if this is not right, nothing else is right. So you got to get this right. And what the coaches would always say is, we're going to focus on the process. They knew what the goal was. They wanted to win major championships. But on a day-to-day basis, they can't get frustrated. If they started thinking about the goal and then they didn't hit that goal immediately, the next opportunity they had, they would get frustrated. And the coach would always say, we got to get back to the process. Don't worry about the outcome. If you focus on the process, the outcome will take care of itself. And maybe that's the most important thing I could tell you this morning. If you focus on the process, the outcome will take care of itself. You've got voiceover goals. That's great. You need those. That's the destination. But today, let's focus on the map. And if you don't have a map, you need a map. And some of the components of that map, the daily focus should be things like the technical aspect of what you're doing. And, making sure your audio sounds great, understanding how to edit properly, how to process audio, the next thing would be performance. Working on developing your performance and having the proper feedback to help you do that. It would be having a great demo or demos. It's also learning how to market and to take that plan and develop and to execute that marketing plan on a daily basis. These are the daily things that constitute the process of voiceover. And if you have a goal, but you're floundering and you're spinning around and you're just kind of chasing your tail, not sure what to do, you need a plan, which is the process that you need to focus on daily. And that's why I've created this YouTube video to give you a sense of what that is. But my voiceover blueprint is the program that provides that. Again, link below the description, you could check it out. But today, what I'm trying to tell you is this: know where you want to go. But after that, all the focus has to be on what is the process? What is it I need to do today to help ensure my success 6 months, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now? Yeah, it's not as sexy. It's not as exciting. Goals are always very exciting. Like I told you, it's Motivational Monday, but this is not a rah-rah session. This is a down and dirty what it takes to get there. It requires the day-to-day discipline to stick your nose to the grindstone and to do the stuff that's not always as fun, because the goals, the end result is always exciting. And but it's the journey, finding joy in the journey. Maybe you've heard that phrase before. Being present in the moment, doing those things every day that allow us to become the person that we want to be, whether it be, again, on a personal basis and or a professional basis. So on this Motivational Monday, this week, really focus in on the process, the steps that you need to take and develop to make sure that you reach the goal that you want to go. So as your online coach here, I'm really encouraging you to focus on the process. And again, if you feel confused by that, you're not sure what that means or how to go about doing that, again, go below in the description, links to my training resources. But the process is going to get you where you want to go. Let's check in and see what's going on today in the live stream. Rusty's in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. What's going on, Rusty? Melissa in San Diego. Mike in New Jersey. We've got Nephi in Knoxville. Earth Sun Tracker. I am a truck driver driving across America, also from Knoxville, thinking about getting into this business. Well, thanks for being here. You came to the right place. I've mentioned this before. Knoxville is one of my favorite places in all the world. That's where my mom's from. My dad proposed to my mom at Norris Dam. For those of you who are Eastern Tennessee, if you're from Tennessee, Eastern Tennessee, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it wasn't much long after that then I came along. It's where it all began. Bill in Boise. We've got Emma in Huntington Beach. Let's see here. Shawan, how are you in South Carolina? Good to have you here this morning. GS, what's up in Longview, Washington? Merrill, good to see you in Northern New Jersey. Hope you had a good weekend. We've got Dave in the Big Apple, Aaron in Columbia, Missouri, Scotty in Brookings, South Dakota, Bob, glad I made it from Reidsville, North Carolina. Had a recording session at 8:30 this morning. Fantastic. Happy Monday, Bob. Sandra, hello to you in Dallas, Fort Worth. Corey in Whitehall, Wisconsin. Happy Monday. High atop Metra, run 916 on the way into the great Chicago Union Station. Fantastic. Good to have you here this morning. Ralph's in Iowa, John in Rhinebeck, New York, Marla in Texas, Mark in Estes Park, Colorado, Dale in Atlanta, Rebecca in Michigan, Mike, happy Motivational Monday to you in Alabama, Denise in Long Island, Tina, hello to you in Sweden. No summertime change here yet. We're not quite there yet either. And maybe, I guess we can't really expect it. It's one of those it's the time of year where, you can have 65 degrees, maybe 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and which is very comfortable, nice, pleasant. And then within a few days, it's back down into the 30s, approaching freezing. So we're kind of in that crazy swing of temperatures, but I'll take whatever nice weather we can get right now. Tim and Altoona, let's see here. Anabascatus, good morning to you. Bruce in Brooksville, Florida. Thank you. Hope you have a fantastic day as well. Working on my demo, doing some research. Fantastic. Chad, hello to you in Daytona Beach. You are program director at 21. I'm jealous. Oh, don't be jealous. About ran me into the ground. I mean, I loved it. But man, I'm the kind of kid growing up that my parents were probably surprised how hard I was actually willing to work. I'm the kind of guy, I didn't want to mow the yard. I didn't want to clean my bedroom. I didn't want to make the bed. But man, once I got out of the house, I was a hard-driven guy. Zach finally made it to watch a live stream. Yay. Good morning from rural West Texas. Brand new in voiceover. Hustling to get my first VO job. Enjoying learning the process. Great to have you here, Zach. Hey, Denise, she says, good morning, everyone it's Dennis. I'm sorry. Dennis says hello to everyone in Pasadena, California. Been in Pasadena a few times. I mean, the last time I was there, I think was like in the 80s. It was a long time ago, but really enjoyed being on the West Coast. Riley, Paris, Texas. Dr. Bob, how are you doing? I'm bright and beautiful Clearwater, Florida. Robert in the Bronx. Matt in New Jersey. Rob, hello from Loveland. Glad to be home. Headed down to the studio for a full day of work. Thanks for your guidance. That has helped me build a very successful voiceover business. Well, Rob, thank you. And it's a thrill to have you in the voiceover blueprint as well as many of you guys. Needed to hear this morning, says Tara. Thank you, Tara. Jason says, good morning from Kearney, Nebraska. This ties in perfectly with this week's blueprint material. Thanks, Jason. Alex, greetings to you in Utah. Joanne says, love this. Thanks, Joanne. Dave Parker is checking in from Gardner, Kansas, back from Canal, Winchester, just down the road from where I grew up in Lancaster, Ohio. We've got Eritrean in Toronto, Wally in Annapolis, Maryland. We've got GM from Mahdi in Maryland. Puerto Rico, Gabo, welcome. Huntsville, Alabama. Muriel in San Diego. Marcus, how are you doing? Doing 2 ACX auditions every day, and we'll be mowing the yard very soon. All right. This is the season of the year where voiceover talent, come to their studio with great fear and trepidation, knowing that it's lawn mowing season. So when people start firing up the lawnmowers, it can really wreak havoc on a voiceover session. But that's what we deal with working at home, right? Snow blowers, lawnmowers, chainsaws, construction. I've got this construction going on a home across the street from here. Yeah, it's always something, but that's okay. That's just part of the excitement of being a voiceover talent. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Below in the description, I've got links to my voiceover training resources. Check them out. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.